What's up, Mountaineer Nation? It's your guy, Bernie Mac, doing a quick solo show today. Talk about a lot of stuff going on in Mountaineer athletics, specifically on the basketball side. Very exciting few days for both the men's and women's programs. Uh, Had a really kind of exciting game for anybody that saw the women's game against Duke. That was unbelievable to have what happened and have the women's team be down to 5 players and beat the number 15 team in the country. That is a historic win. Huge shout out to Coach Kellogg and that team. It's one thing to beat Duke when they're sitting at 15th at full strength, but to do it when you're short and you only have 5 people, I've never seen anything like that. So I just want to make sure that I give a huge shout out to the women's basketball team, Coach Kellogg. Tremendous accomplishment, what they did, sticking together. And then here we are, getting ready to have another Mountaineer game tonight, 7 o'clock against Lafayette. I think Lafayette is probably the worst team on our schedule up to this point. I really just don't see much in them. I'll preview them here in a minute. But obviously, lots of big developments going around the basketball program right now. The commitment of Sadler was just absolutely huge. I really was taken back, pleasantly surprised. To get a commitment like Miles Sadler is just unbelievable. I think he's our highest rated recruit in program history. And for Ross Hodge to be able to get that commitment in year one with a young team, and just it's a tremendous accomplishment. I mean, we've never seen Huggins get a commitment like that other than from like Shebway, right? I mean, and we all saw how that turned out. And, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the guy that we brought in specifically to help out with this, and that is Coach Ali, Yusuf Ali. He was brought in from Bobby Hurley's staff in Arizona previously because he's very well renowned for his player development, his recruiting ability, his ability to really kind of connect with these kids and build long-term relationships. For anybody that does not know, he already had a relationship previously with Sadler, and also obviously Alou Diom, who was Sadler's teammate. So when you look at those two guys coming in, and again, I mean, you have to remember that Ali actually coached Sadler. It's just amazing what the impact that this guy has had on the program this early, and he's just a really good addition to Ross Hodge, complementary to Ross Hodge. And I think when you look at the ability to bring in these young elite players, it's amazing, and a lot of it goes to Coach Ali, and I think Coach Hodge too, because in today's day and age, I think it's really rare to have a coach with the kind of character that I think Coach Hodge has. Look, we've said this numerous times on the show. I've been a big fan of the hire from day one. I liked it because mostly I trust Ram Baker and I trust his judgment. But as soon as I saw Coach Hodge's first press conference, I definitely felt like he was our guy. You could just tell, the way that he presents himself, the loyalty component. And I think if you're a parent and you're handing off your child to somebody that's going to have a tremendous influence on them, over a course of a long period of time, I really couldn't think of a better guy than Coach Hodge. And obviously, Coach Ali and what he's been doing and just being able to further solidify those kind of relationships. And look, getting a guy like Sadler just shows that there's nobody in the country that we can't get. I think this is kind of a breakthrough moment for West Virginia basketball specifically. I would expect maybe after like a year of development, you get a player like this. But for Ross Hodge to put together the recruiting class that he's putting together this quickly, it really just, again, I think it's a testament to kind of who he is behind the scenes and the loyalty he commands from his players. And, look, we've said this as well, right? You didn't see a bunch of players following Darren DeVries over to Indiana. We had several players follow Coach Hodge here from North Texas. And again, I mean, yeah, you could say it is what it is, like North Texas going to West Virginia. It's a big elevation, step up, bigger opportunity. But look, these guys probably could have went to a lot of different schools and they didn't even consider it. They just came and they followed Hodge because of who he is. And I think that, again, is a testament to his character and who he is as a person. And, you factor that in with Coach Ali and just what he's been doing. We've seen him play a pivotal role at Arizona State, and now he's doing that here. And it's unbelievable, to see the connection that he's been able to facilitate between Alou Diem and then getting Sadler. And it's just exciting. These guys both know how to play together. Obviously very young, obviously very talented, but they obviously like each other as well. And now they're going to be playing together at West Virginia with a very young coach that has a very bright future. And I think, again, it's like a program-defining moment to be able to have somebody this young in his first year kind of land this type of recruit. It's just a testament to where he is in the program with a very bright future ahead of him. And I will address some comments before I preview the Lafayette game tonight. But again, I mean, we have a lot of reason to be excited right now about the basketball program. And I think it's just going to get better and better, but I'm not discounting this year. I think these guys could really, sky's the limit this year. And I've said it a few times on other shows, they're only going to get better and better as they become more conditioned, as they get more familiar with the system. And I think it's just a really good fit for everybody. And I hope we do step up. And I'm seeing some comments come through here. But, obviously when you have people that make a tremendous impact on your program like Coach Ali, I think we do have to step up. We have to make sure he's taken care of. You have to have conversations about what he wants in his future and make sure that the goals and the program goals are aligned with what his vision is for himself, because you don't want to lose people that could have this big of an impact on your program this quickly. And I think we've seen it both with Coach Hodge and Yusuf Ali. And I think the connection that he has with these two young men that he's already gotten to commit to West Virginia is fantastic. And I think a lot of the recruiting success we're going to see is going to be a testament to both Coach Hodge and Yusuf Ali. And I think they make a really powerful, just team as far as getting the buy-in of not only the kids and what they're trying to build as a program, but again, as a parent, you want to make sure your kids are in good hands with people with good values. They're not just going to not take advantage of the kids, but you want to make sure that you're just not using them for your own selfish purposes. You want them to be better people, and develop as both a player, but as a person. I think both of these guys definitely bring that to the table. So again, I mean, this is huge news. The highest rated recruit in program history just committed. And I mean, for those of you that have not seen the video, I have it on my X profile. If you want to see his commitment video, I thought it was great. You could see he's really close with his family. I thought that was great. He's obviously had a lot of people around him that's had, a very positive and big impact on his life. And he just seems like a really level-headed kid. We've had Alou Diem on the show before, and he's just great as well. Again, I mean, you build something culturally with good people, you're going to get good people to come. And I think that's what we're starting to see in this Mountaineer basketball program, which is fantastic. So with that being said, tonight's game is against Lafayette, 7 o'clock. I think it's on ESPN Plus. And, obviously we're not really worried about this game to a degree, right? Like, I think when you look at this game, I would probably again say that's the weakest game on our schedule. This team has already gotten blown out by Texas. They've gotten blown out by Cornell. They're sitting at 1-3. I don't think they have anybody on the team that I would say like scares me as far as their scoring ability with our defense. So I expect this is going to be a pretty big rout. I think we're going to be able to rotate some of our younger guys in, which will be good to get them some experience before a very tough Clemson matchup. That plays a very similar style of basketball to us. So, and I'm just looking at this right now. They lost by 37 to Texas. So it gives you an idea of the quality of the team. I mean, look, lightning could always strike, but it's not going to strike tonight. I think we're perfectly in good position to add another win on the schedule. And I've said it before, too. I think that, next week versus Clemson is going to be, or later this week, versus Clemson is going to be a true gauge of our talent and where we are as a program. So, I'm excited to see that game. But I'm not looking past Lafayette. But again, I don't think Lafayette's going to be much of a challenge for us tonight. So a few other things I just wanted to touch on, too. We know we had a very disappointing loss as far as football. We get it. But just to touch on the fact that we have Kevin Brown making his commitment on the Pat McAfee show, I think that bodes very well for us as a program. I think a lot of people are feeling like we're going to pick up this commitment, which would be a huge get. The guy's elite. He's got a tie to West Virginia University, and the fact that he's doing it on the Pat McAfee show, I love that. I think that's great. It's just kind of like another tool in the tool belt, right? Like being able to have that kind of stuff go through and be nationally televised with a guy like Pat McAfee as a recruit, that's a huge selling point. So I love the fact that he's doing it. I'll love it even more once he drops West Virginia and he decides to come home. But again, I think when you look at just the visibility that this puts on for him, it's going to be great. And hopefully he comes home and we're in a really good spot to land him at what would be, I think, like the fourth best recruit from a football perspective in our program history if we're able to land him, or fourth highest. So very exciting. Again, I'm going to take some comments here before I sign off, but I just wanted to give a huge shout out for people that do not know about Yusuf Ali, our guy behind the scenes that is making a tremendous positive impact on the basketball program. For those of you who do not know, he's very well known. He just came to us from Arizona State, but he's very well known from his player development, player relationships, and recruiting. And we're seeing that obviously in him being able to help get Lou Dion signed and Miles Sadler, who is the highest rated basketball recruit we've ever signed, all in year one under Ross Hodge. So for anybody that is not following or giving Yusuf Ali a shout out, please do that. The guy's a stud. Hopefully we could keep him for a long time and make sure that we pay him sufficiently to keep him here and have some good conversations about, his future and what his future looks like with the West Virginia program. With that being said, I'm going to jump in here and we'll take a few comments before I sign off. So let's see here. We got Jerry Justice on YouTube. Thank you for joining from YouTube, Jerry. For anybody that is joining from YouTube or does not know our YouTube, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you're watching the podcast, and follow our channel. It's totally free, but gives you a lot of goodies, a lot of things that we post and give away and do all that kind of stuff. So I dropped it in the chat. Please be sure to follow. But Jerry Justice on YouTube says, pay this man. I'm not sure who you're referring to. I'm hoping you're referring to Yusuf Ali, or if you were referring to making sure that Sadler gets a very nice chunk of the NIL money. Either way, I'm a big fan of paying people that have a very positive, influential impact on the program. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on that one, Jerry. Let's see. We've got Mountaineer in Jersey. Thanks for joining for YouTube. For everybody, please hit that like and subscribe button again. Hodge is on his way to becoming a WVU coaching legend. I would agree with that. I think, just what he's done so quickly and being able to bring in these recruits and just the product you're seeing out on the field, on the court, it's exciting, and I've said it before. I think when we go through cold spells, which we've seen shooting wise already a few times, their defense keeps them in the mix and it limits the damage when you get into these tough offensive sets and you can't score. So I'm really excited to see what he does for the rest of the season, how he finishes out. Let's see. So we got my guy, Jerry Justice again. Need to be ready to pay both. If they could get talent to come, then money will work itself out. I would agree with that. Obviously, we know success breeds success, right? You have a good year. There are certain financial incentives that are around the program when you succeed in certain ways, but it also increases visibility and marketability to the program, which obviously leads to dollars. So I think, again, let's see how they finish out. But I've said it before, and I'll go on here. I think they're going to make a very solid run in the Big 12 NCAA tourneys this year. Sky's the limit. Let's see. We got our guy, Chad Moore. Chad, thanks for joining. Always appreciate you. Dog Yusuf Ali agreed. For, again, anybody that does not know him, this guy has really kind of been the catalyst behind the scenes as far as bringing in some good recruits and complementing Ross Hodge. And I think they're a very good duo from a recruiting standpoint to really continue to bring in some more talent. So let's see. We got Chad Moore again. Hugs has his own creative assistant. Looks like Hodge knows what needs to be done in order to build a program. I could not agree more. And I think, this is just the start. I think it's just the beginning of what we're going to start to see from Ross Hodge. And again, to do it in year one is exceeding all expectations. Let's see. We got it's Coop. Yusuf is a dog. I love people that know who he is because he is a dog. And he's a dog on a recruiting trail. And he's a guy that's really just going to continue to bring in more talent. Let's see. We got Mountaineer in Jersey again. Hodge showing he knows winners and how to surround himself talented people. A lot of good things coming to Morgantown. Couldn't agree more. And I'm going to say this repeatedly because I'm just so impressed by Hodge's character. It's different, and I hate to bring up Neil Brown, but it is different, right? Like, I think Hodge just has like a little bit of a different humility to him that I really like, and I think he's going to fit in as long as he wants to be here. Hopefully we keep him for a long time. It's cute. There's a 5-star 2027 considering. I forget his name though. I will have to check that out when I have more time. I've got a meeting here in a little bit, but I will look into that for you and get back to you. It's cute. Yo, I look like Neil Brown. Oof, man, I don't know about that. That would hurt. Although I didn't shave today. Maybe that's why I've been a little busy. But it is what it is. Let's see. It's cute. How the fuck is DeFreeze and IU ranked 20 will only be? Yeah, I would agree with this. I've seen it. Look, Tucker's having a good year. I think we all know that his shoulder injury was a bunch of BS. He just wanted to follow daddy to Indiana. But look, we never said he wasn't a good player, right? But that's being in the Big Ten. Sometimes you get a little more visibility, even though it's not warranted. And we've seen that a lot last year too, even with the team we had that continually would pop in and out of the rankings. And we didn't understand who was ranked and why they were ranked. It's kind of like a crapshoot at this point. Miles chemistry, so we cooking next year 100%. I mean, coming in as teammates, you know each other's games, you know what your tendencies are. I think they're going to make a really good impact really quickly. He does remind me of Andre. I would agree, and he's a great guy. I mean, we had him on the show. If you guys go through our history, you can find that interview on the YouTube channel. Really good kid. This guy's head on straight, very humble, very excited to be here. So I do think it's a really good combination to have. Last comment, Chad Moore, humility with an absolute edge of competitiveness. Totally agree. And I think that's what it's going to take, right? I mean, you have to you got to be likable, you got to be accountable, and you have to want to win it. And that'll keep you here as long as you want to be here. But I think everybody's really happy with the product we're seeing on the court right now. So with that being said, everybody, if you're listening, please follow me again on X. Bernie Mac _VOM. You could find Miles Sadler's commitment video on that. And let's go Mountaineers tonight, and then big one coming up on Clemson this week, and then hopefully after the bye week we could finish the football season strong as well. And the Mountaineer women's basketball, huge shout out. They're coming at number 23 in the top AP 25, so great to see them back up there in the rankings. So let's go.
Voice of Morgantown, we break it first. WVU pride, we quench your thirst. No spin, all truth, loud and proud. Mountaineer nation, say it loud. The Voice of Morgantown. VOA.